That is true. But the thing is somebody got to give you a chance. And once you figure out what you don't know by talking to the professionals, then you can perfect your craft and be better every time. If someone's giving you the opportunity knowing that you may or may not know your craft, I don't see anything wrong with the idea of being able to fail to learn again.
Not we being paid for it.
If did the person come off like they knew what they was doing?
Yes.
Because they know people that did it before?
Because they know how to touch a camera.
Everybody know how to touch a camera, Greg.
That's my point exactly. Because you know how to touch a camera doesn't mean you know how to use it.
Same thing for dick and pussy. I can see that.
How? How did we get there?
I see it. You don't see it?
Sure, but still.
I saw us walk right into it. I did.
You are something else. All right.
That's what they tell me.
What they tell you?
That I'm something else. I'm just trying to be the greatest.
Are you?
Yes. Well, day by day. You gotta take it day by day, scenario by scenario. Sometimes I'm just FML.
What? You said SNL.
F.
Plug this in. Now you got that stupid song stuck in my head.
I'm just trying to be the greatest?
No. Usher.
Oh, let me take you to a place and nice and quiet. There ain't no one that's enter. Ain't gotta rush. I just wanna take it nice and
Sometimes you like the thrill.
slow.
You like the thrill?
Of course I do. That's what usually be getting me off. When you start doing like, I think I felt like I told y'all this story already. There was just like this man that I met. Wow, that's a lot of information. It was a couple of years ago. But this man that I met, and this was like me like getting back to me after my accident, and he like when we first met, like we were supposed to get a hotel room, and we got it, but we were like so like just introved that we just ended up like doing it like at some like street. It was like this, I don't know, it was like a parking lot. I don't know.
She was outside.
I was like literally like I got out the car like outside. I didn't care. It felt so good. Fast forward, because like we had like different moments where we would like have sex like in different places. Like, oh my gosh, like this one time it was, you guys, it was a couple of years ago. This one time, like he was like a security guard, and so like there's this one place that he would take me, which I think was like maybe like a housing community for older people, or maybe just a community. But anyway, this is like the it's not a lobby obviously because it's private. It's more of like the common area. I mean, there's like apartments everywhere and like whatever, but there's like this common area. They have like little books and TVs and stuff like that, and we would just do it, and it was just so like, it was so thrilling. And then we fast forward to like, he's like comfortable enough with me to, I forgot that was the one. He was comfortable enough for me to, yo, I would help you? Yo.
That's funny.
Yo. Anyway, fast forward, he gets comfortable enough for me to go over his place, and then we have sex at his place, and it was
mediocre.
Trash. Mm-hmm. It was so trash, and I was like, no.
I think the thrill of getting caught is probably the best sex I've ever had.
Oh my gosh, like it's like,
especially when there's a thrill of getting caught, and then when you just don't care about getting caught.
Yeah, like it does something for me. It gets me like right there. If I'm missing like that, it'll get me like, woo.
No, I'm with you.
But yeah, shout outs to that person. But like, yeah, it wasn't enough in that setting. I was just like, this is not it.
There's a lot of factors that go into it when you think about like having sex. A lot of different factors.
Okay, play it. Give me more.
No, because think about like right now we're talking about the thrill of for you, and that's with that person it was the place.
It was the
setting.
different places. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And with another person, it could be something completely different that makes it good. Like it's not always the same thing that makes it good every time.
I guess. Yeah, because it depends on the person and what you find that gets you off. Because sometimes it could be as simple as that, and it can be great too.
It could just be the person.
No, I think so. No, sometimes, like, okay, I'm not gonna say it's not because I think that plays into it 1st, right? You have to have some real attraction, some type of desire for that person, and then and either trust or again you just trying to get this nut off. And I feel like in those situations like that, like, nope, I was really trying to get that nut off for that time because I didn't even know. I didn't really know him like that. I mean, it was like we talked, but it wasn't like, let's go meet my mom. Like, no, it wasn't like that. No, but there are times that I've done it outside, but then the person inside is good too. That's cool. But in that particular situation, it was only the thrills that got me. After that, it was just like, give me something else.
It's the thrill of the night.
Yeah.
Banter.
I forgot. I thought we were not recording yet. It's okay. It's okay.
See, y'all, last episode I wasn't here. And I got a lot of strays thrown at me for no reason.
Not at all. We just missed you, Greg.
No,
that's it.
That's how you show you miss somebody? Oh.
It depends on your love language. You see? That's love language.
What love language is that?
Hurt your feelings to let you know that I care about you.
Why would I hurt your feelings?
No, I'm telling you that's how the love language is.
Did I just hurt your feelings?
You do sometimes hurt my feelings.
I know. But that's not always, it's not intentional though.
Title, hurt feelings. Got it.
But it's never intentional. I can't help it if I hurt your feelings, but I can't.
Yes, you can.
How? I'm about to just not talk.
Okay. You can be intentional with your word and understand that you're going to always have thoughts, but you don't always have to say those things.
I don't think I say anything that's like,
I'm here for it.
I don't think that first off, I think before I speak. And usually
that makes it worse.
That makes it better because
no,
see?
It does because it's how like
it's perspective.
No,
at
but
this
think
point.
about it. For you, it's just like, oh, like no, I thought about this when you say, but when you say it, it still doesn't.
That's what I'm
hit.
saying.
Actually, it doesn't hit the way that you think that it's supposed to, or the
And
response
that's what I'm saying. I can't control how you receive it.
But you know me enough to understand how.
But even when I think that I've done the work to be like, this is for Gigi.
Yeah.
It still backfires.
Oh, because
that's what I mean. I can't control. At this point, it's just.
It's okay, Greg. You're gonna heal.
Sure. Banter. All right. So, banter question for today is: what is the first thing you notice about people? What? You want to break it down? You want to do like, you want to go by, I was just making it general.
No, I know, because it's just like, because my answer sounds so, when I heard myself say it, I was like, how do you, it's someone's energy for me.
For real?
Yeah, like once I walk in the room, like, and it's very interesting. Like, I feel like I'm like my dog. But I do that, like, that was crazy. But I do feel like that because in high energy areas, like I tend to be more vocal and sociable, but then I also realize like when there are low energy, I try to be that energy to raise it. So I will go to the person like that. Like for some reason, my dog tends to go to people that don't really care for dogs or don't like dogs or don't want to be around dogs. She wants you to love on her.
She an ass.
Yes, and the thing is that they eventually give in to her. And so it's just like sometimes like people that don't understand the breed or understand me, sometimes I don't want to say like I force myself upon them, but I allow them to understand that you in a safe space, you with Gigi, and everything's gonna be okay.
So the first thing you notice is energy.
Energy, Yes, and sometimes like you can kind of read someone's by emotional intelligence. Like somebody is just off you. They don't even have to say anything to you. You can tell just how their demeanor when they are looking at you or when they're by you or how you. Then you're understanding. Like sometimes I'll be an asshole and say hello, how are you today? Continue to be great.
Okay, what about physically?
What do you mean?
What's the first thing you know about somebody physically?
Me and woman days. Who?
Anybody. Like, first thing you notice, like...
It depends on the person. Sometimes it could be their outfit. Sometimes it could be their hair.
Okay, a random person's walking down the street that's about to say hi to you.
It could be...
What's the first thing you're going to notice about them?
Whatever stands out to me.
Okay.
Like, there's no specifics. Like, I don't walk into anything thinking I'm always going to be attracted to somebody. I don't walk into it thinking that I'm going to say hello to somebody. Sometimes there's people that I acknowledge, like, I could walk by a man and he could smell good, and I will tell him, like, oh, you smell nice. Have a great day. Or a woman can have a nice outfit on, and I'm like, girl, I love your outfit. You cute. Like, it's just really because I am okay with just talking to strangers if something stands out on you for the most part. And if then after that, the next step would be if you have energy where I can either give you like a smile or just say have a great day, which I love people in the South for that. You don't need to know them for them to just say hello to you. Up in the North and the East side,
yeah, we just mean.
People just think that you're weird. Like if you say hi, if it's usually the opposite sex, they may think that you want to talk to them. Sometimes it's just like, no, I just wanted to tell you to have a great day.
You're the only person I know that really offends.
What do you mean?
That people, you don't like to be hit on.
That's not true. I know where I want to be. That's why that might be different. Sometimes I need to be reminded I still got it.
No, we've had numerous conversations where you have told me that you don't like it when everybody think that they can get with you.
Yeah, that's different. That's not about being hit on, because people thinking that they can get with me doesn't mean that they actually are hitting on me. It's just that their mentality that if
somebody's hitting on you, what do you think they're trying to do?
No, I'm just saying that when I was saying that doesn't always mean those are the individuals that are trying to talk to me. It's just that they've already had a mentality that if they decided to talk to me, that they feel like it's already an open door policy.
Why can't they have that kind of confidence?
Because one is, especially if you know me, respect me more to know that just
because they don't know you though.
What? Oh, okay. You know what? That's what I said. I said especially if they know me. In the events for the men that don't know me,
yeah,
that's cool. But
you hate it though.
I don't like, because my thing is get to know me before you try to fuck me first. And if I want to fuck you, I'm gonna tell you first. You're not gonna tell me. But if you're telling me, I'm gonna let you know that it's not reciprocated. We are not seeing eye to eye. So I respect your honesty. I respect the fact that you want to tell me that you want to put your little hot dog inside of my bun, but I don't want it. I'm carb free today. I don't carb free. No, that's the other way around. I'm meat free today. Either way, it depends on the day for me. Anyways, what about you, Greg?
So would a dildo be considered beyond meat?
Ba-da-ba-bum. No, because it's not edible.
But neither is regular penis.
Well, I've known some niggas that eat dick. There's storylines.
Excuse me?
Yeah, there's people that eat dicks or have eaten a dick.
What?
Yeah, I wish if you would Google that. I'm not putting that on my phone, but there has been like crimes of like people have these kinks of like trying to like cut off their penis and have somebody eat it. I'm serious. I'm not being funny. It's a thing. They have like chat rooms and about it.
What is wrong with people?
They want to get their dicks cut off, and they want somebody to eat it. Like literally.
Like they volunteer.
Mm-hmm. I'm so serious. Yeah.
I have so many questions.
There's a whole. I think there's a documentary.
But why?
About it,
my main question is, why do you know this?
Well,
what's
I like
your
true
Google
crime.
search?
True crime. I like true crime.
That was
podcast.
on True. There's a true crime episode about dick eating.
Yes. There's like this. It's like this. There was like this. These two males that met each other in this chat room, and one wanted to know what a dick tastes like. The other one wanted to get his dick eaten, and then they met in a motel room. He ends up because he's not like a doctor, he ends up like cutting him where like the man is like almost dying, right? But mind you, like on the other side of the room, there's like candle lit, like he got like a plate, like he's ready to eat the dick. But he ends up cutting him in a place where the man was almost died, so they had to call the ambulance so he wouldn't die, and then he got arrested because, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So the first thing I notice about people,
Don't get your dicks eaten.
clearly, hide your dicks,
I don't know. I mean,
hide your wives.
you know, literally, but figuratively.
I think I'm going to go back to the banter question.
Okay.
Cause, yeah, I think like you energy. I didn't think about. I was thinking all about physical appearances, like what the first thing I noticed about somebody physically. But, excuse me. But I think it's the whole energy thing too. Like you can see, I would say facial expression stuff like that. That's the first things I noticed. But physically, it's probably somebody's shoes. I always look down first. Probably says a lot about me. But I don't look people in the face.
Oh, I do.
I hate
I like it because I want to know if we can smile at each other or you're just gonna look down. Because I'm
because people
always
breath
open to
stink.
conversation. Why you think you got to be that close for eye contact?
I don't know.
You don't got to be that close for eye
But
contact.
you don't. But people breath be just projecting.
No, it do. If you can smell it a mile away, deep. No, I'm okay.
So that's why I usually just looking down first. So I notice the shoes first.
And again, for me, that could be a thing too. It just depends on the individual that's walking in front of me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right. And that's how you do a banter. Yeah, I'm coming for all y'all.
Banter.
Your shit was whack.
Hater. Well, I'm just saying that you have either underestimated the thought process of this woman.
You don't think I prepared?
This is too much.
This is every week, bro.
I'm ready.
The gist of this conversation is that I'm right and y'all wrong. Gigi.
He held it. He's an edger.
You're an asshole, buddy. What is this? 137? Mm-hmm. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Convo 137 of Just a Conversation with Greg and Gigi. I'm the person that talks first. And I am joined by this one.
Gigi.
Hello, Gigi.
Oh, you brought it back. You haven't said that in a while.
Because you annoyed me.
And today I didn't?
No.
Even after that episode?
I got a funny... Tell you off mic. But what's going on, yeah?
He spent a lot of time off mic, and now he wants to do that on mic, telling me. I know you guys. I know the same feeling. He's gonna tell us that he want to tell us something, but only want to tell me. I get it. It's okay.
What?
I was talking to them, not you.
Whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's fine. I'm just letting them know that. Yeah, it's fine. We're just. So how I'm doing? My birthday's in a couple of days.
Happy birthday to you. Birthday to you. Ooh, happy birthday.
Wow, God, thank you so much. And I don't have any plans. But I am Grateful just to be here. There's just like so many things like that has transpired within this year in itself, that to know that like as I am approaching this new year and new stage and new like I don't know path in my life, that things are going on the up and up. So I'm really really appreciative of that so much. I'm also grateful that Baylor was able to come on and take in for you last week. I
Sure.
think that we had a really great episode.
Was like,
I enjoyed our conversation.
I did. I mess with you.
And shout out to you, BTG, for president, and Marcy, because she also had a feature on there as well. So, and she doesn't go on a lot of pods, so you should be very, grateful.
Exclusive.
Yes. Let me see. Anything else? If you don't like something, just say it. Don't accept it. If you don't like it, say you don't like it. It's okay not to like something, and everyone's right to their opinion. Why are you laughing at me?
Nothing.
No, say it.
No, I just feel like just the week I've had, everything is just.
I'm sorry.
It feels just super.
I get it, but I do feel that way. If you don't like it, it's okay. Now, if sometimes there is like a time frame where you have when you want to somebody to show like it, but if you don't like it, just say it. And I think there's some relationships that I'm starting to realize that no matter the history, is that I don't like it. And sometimes it's not about just keeping people around. Sometimes you just gotta change. You gotta like shed some of that fat. Sometimes you gotta like renew, reuse, recycle. What am I?
What do you, the recycling company?
That's what I was about to say.
Waste management?
No, sorry. But sometimes, yes, you have to like reset your space, and everybody's not gonna be able to be with you when you reset the space. And it's not always a bad thing. Because sometimes also people need to let you go, and sometimes you have to be the person to let them go first in order for y'all to be great. So I'm so sorry. I'm going through my own shit. I'm talking about. Anyways, with that being said, Greg, how are you? I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. I don't like it.
Oh man, I am okay.
We missed you, Greg.
I miss me too. How y'all doing? I guess I gotta. Dang, I don't like. You know how hard it is to talk about yourself? My headphones falling.
No.
Yeah, you don't really have a hard time doing it. I do. Like recapping my week. That's just a lot.
It's not. It's really
for me. It is. You know, for somebody
this weekend.
Fuck you.
This weekend. Absolutely.
I've come to learn about myself that like I work in marketing, communication, and do all these videos and shit.
Yeah.
I'm terrible like coming up with like not coming up with stories. That's not true. I'm a very good storyteller. But like as far as like details, like being detail oriented when I gotta talk about myself, I realize that sometimes I was like, like you should have just been there.
Well, I feel that way too. That's why I don't use social media to the effect or even to the place where I should be using social media, because I feel that way. However, you do that. Like people are still able to. So I think, but I get what you're saying, because I feel that way too. But I also understand that like we've decided to have this podcast, and the conversation is really about us.
True.
And our views and how we see
the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Look at you, remember the tagline. Look at Pound It, yo. I'm proud of you.
Yes,
all right. So 2 weeks ago, well, no, last week, yeah, still last week.
Yeah.
Spent 10 days in Nigeria, which was great. It was a great experience, great time. If you follow me on Instagram, if you follow me on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, you saw all the photo dumps.
I haven't barely been on it. So.
Yeah, but like it was cool teaching them kids how to play instruments and all that stuff. Getting a chance to play internationally, that's always fun.
Yeah.
It's always rewarding too. But also had a good ass time too. went with some really good people, and we went out a couple of times, and it was Nigeria's a cool place. So we was in Lagos.
Oh,
Lagos.
Akon and them?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yo, real quick.
okay.
That song with J. Cole and Lil Durk. That shit is ass. It don't work anywhere. Like they played it in the club, and you just felt the energy of the room just done. Like, change this shit.
That's like go home music. I wouldn't.
And they played it in the middle.
Oh.
Like we was vibing. Like, what song came on right before that? Some Afrobeat shit. And then he wanted to go a little bit American. Yo, they treat Americans like we celebrities. They found out Americans was there. They was like, oh, we got a lot of free drinks. But
Shout out to that.
Deadass. But then he played that shit in the middle, and it was like, ew.
Just to say with the Afro beats.
Yeah.
Understood. I'm in Africa.
All my life.
Yeah.
Nobody would be positive. Like, fuck out of here. That shit was so bad.
Talk about energy. Okay, so my follow-up question to you, and if you have anything else to say, I don't want to cut you off.
No, I mean, I was going.
Because you've gone to Africa at least 3 times now.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say are your 3 highlights of each place?
What?
Go ahead.
So, no, it's great questions.
Okay.
Of each place?
Yes, you went to 3 times.
So in Ghana, I think the highlight was learning about. It's gonna sound crazy, but learning about poverty, and how relative it is, and how what we experienced in the West, as far as like, what we consider poverty, they consider normal, and it gave me a different perspective on how to look at things. So that was dope. South Africa. Highlight of South Africa. Probably everything is intellectual, I swear it is. But just learning that what we experienced in America, they experienced there. They experienced the same thing there as far as racism and apartheid, and how the white folk, they white folk everywhere. Whew. And then in Nigeria, this is a bit controversial. I ain't gonna even hold you.
Okay.
I think they mask religion, or they use the umbrella of religion for corruption. Like where we were for the trip, there was this huge church. Like they had all of the latest equipment, and just you could tell the church is wealthy. Like every Sunday they got to be bringing in upwards of 500,000 just from the church itself.
Yeah, how it's built and what's in it. Yeah.
And then you go outside directly, like not even outside around the corner, maybe down the street. No, outside is homelessness. Straight up, people sleep like thousands of people sleeping on the floor outside. That makes no sense to me. Your pastor's driving a Benz while there's literally people outside sleeping on the floor. That shit fucked me up. I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Because this is not even the floor; it's the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that didn't make sense to me. And maybe it's because like I know a lot of philanthropists, and I see the way that they spend their money, especially when they can easily see that there's a need. They're not driving around in the Benz. And so.
But the price points in like Africa and like other countries when it comes to Benzes is different. Like
For
when
sure.
I was in Europe, like Benzes were Ubers, like Lyfts. Like
For sure.
It was easy for someone to pick me up in a Benz. I didn't have to do Uber Lex or nothing like that. Like,
well, and that's true, because that's even in America. Like you go state to state, depending on what state you in. Some cars are just valued differently.
Yeah.
But a Benz there is a Benz. It's a luxury car. So, yeah, I think definitely those three things. But then when I got back, someone broke my laptop while I was there. That was great too. What?
How did someone break your laptop?
Oh, somebody stepped on it.
On purpose?
No, I don't think so. But I know somebody stepped on it.
Was it on the floor?
So we was using my laptop for PowerPoint. And then I left the room or whatever because I was doing all this other shit. Come back in the room, it wasn't connected to the PowerPoint anymore. It was actually on the floor by the drum set. And then I get back to my hotel room, and I opened it, and the screen is just fucked up. I said,
So it was on the table and someone put it on the floor.
yeah,
And stepped on it.
it had to be.
So they may not like, the idea of that church you was talking about. They may think that y'all might allegedly.
So, and anybody who knows me, my computer is my life.
Yes, it is.
So that happened on the third day. So it was a week of no work. Let me not say no work. I'm resourceful. I use like my iPad as a screen or whatever, but it was still difficult.
Someone took it. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry for your experience, Craig.
That's cool. I had to bring all of the Christian out of me to say it's just an item. It's just we are here for these kids. But then I got back and very exhausting and emotionally exhausting week.
I hear you. Yeah.
Did some things. Timing was terrible. I can admit that. I can own my shit. It's cool.
And you're not even like I respect that, but I respect that.
Timing was definitely terrible. Still need
learning through experience.
It needed to be done, but it was terrible timing. So yeah, and now I am here and I'm exhausted. Cause yesterday my dumb ass I deadlift and now my back hurt and I PR'd like I maxed out and I'm feeling that shit. My back is killing me.
Yeah, but you have to work out something, so be great with that.
True. So yeah. That was the longest you've ever heard me talk about my.
I like that.
I don't like it.
And you said it was going to be hard, and you did it. You did it so well.
Thank
gracefully. You. Ready to get into these topics?
Let's do it.
Want me to go?
All my life.
All my life.
I've been trying to keep me down. They try to keep me down.
Yeah, you like it a little
That
bit.
song is not good.
Yeah, but
it's catchy as shit, though.
Yeah.
Like, I know why they
did
it.
And then I like J. Cole's flow on it.
Oh, man. That song is so bad. No, you go first.
I knew you was going to say that, so let me just get ready. Okay. So, my question today, that was a little heartburn, Jesus. Have you ever stayed in a relationship you knew ran its course? And if you didn't, how did you end it? So, I already told you that I wanted you to do it based off, we're going to do platonic first. We'll do romantic and family, or whatever way that you feel like it needs to come. But I want to say that there's 3 different levels in that. And even if you want to take it to coworkers, you can do that too. But I feel like when it comes to coworkers, even if you don't like them, it's just limiting your space with them. But
very true.
You still have to talk to them.
So which one you want to start with?
Let's do platonic.
Have I ever stayed in a platonic relationship? No. Absolutely not.
So you don't have any friends that you feel like you grew out of, but you still stayed out?
No.
With them?
No.
Okay.
No. That's energy wasted. I don't. And I should preference this by saying because of the way I grew up, I realized that I'm very much in control of any relationship that I want or don't want.
Not with me.
What you mean not with you?
Because I'm not going to go anywhere.
If I don't want you around, you won't be around.
That's what you think.
That's what I know.
No.
That's what I know.
I don't even know what that means. But I don't think that's true.
I know you don't. No, it's definitely true. If I don't want you around, you will not be around.
Okay. I don't think that's for me. I think that's impossible.
You think very highly of yourself. I love that.
I do. very,
You
very
should.
highly of
Yeah,
myself.
you should. You definitely should.
I don't see any reason why. Absolutely.
That's because you don't see any reason why.
Why wouldn't I? Why?
You shouldn't.
Exactly.
Talking in circles.
Okay, so platonically.
Platonically, you know.
I'm gonna say
Yes and no.
because there's some times where I won't tolerate it, but then there are times where I feel like people have weak moments. I feel like there are moments where they may not have been themselves. Maybe it was a moment of bad judgment. However, if it happens more than one time, then I would remove myself. But there are some people that I feel like ain't shit around me, and I do believe that at one point in time, I do believe that they was shit. I'm just waiting for them to prove it again. But that sounds just like a crackhead looking for his first high. So that's why I say yes and no. Because there are people that I immediately cut off once I don't think that there's anything that we can recoup from it. I have
Then your answer is yes.
But there are people that I still believe that are in my life that I should have cut off, and I still have them in my life. So, no.
The answer is no.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. It's yes and no. I know that there's people that I have, but I know that there's people.
So you're saying the situational base? It is what's keeping you in those relationships that you.
Sometimes history, sometimes just the dynamic of them just being around, like just being comfortable, being secure, even though you realize like.
I guess let me go take it a step further.
Okay.
What does cutting off to you mean?
I'm not talking to you.
That's it? Because for me, cutting off could be like, we could still be in the same, like we could still be in the same place.
And I don't talk to you.
I could say hello to you. We could have a whole conversation.
Not
but you don't have access to me the way, I guess it's the content that I decide to provide.
Okay, so no. For me, if I saw you in a public place and we happen to be mutual to a person that we both know, yeah, I'm not going to be rude or make things awkward because I've understood that I am present in this individual that knows the both of us. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, I don't have anything to say to you. If we was walking down the street and I decided to cut you off, there's nothing. I have nothing for you.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was trying to figure out. What do you mean by cutting off?
And
so then,
if it's and this is also, we're talking platonically too.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say we're coworkers, because I feel like that's still under the platonic umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the moment where I would always be cordial because I understand that this is a work dynamic. Like, we don't have to like each other to work with each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And just to be clear, I would just give you an example of what
Of course.
cutting off could be. Because for me, cutting off is just like,
Yeah,
we're
no,
done.
I'm not.
No communication. I don't even talk to
like
you.
in a platonic way, like that's just being like cordial. You know, like
Okay.
you have manners. Like you could say hi to a stranger in the street. It doesn't mean that you actually have a real connection or bond or a rapport. But if I decide to cut you off and there's no other attachment to that,
if there's something detrimental to your life, are you cutting it off? Are you cutting it out?
would you give me an example?
I don't know.
Crack.
Sure. I mean, I could go to the deep end.
Crack out.
I
I don't think you should do crack. I don't think you should become a crackhead.
I could go to the deep end. Okay, if you find out that something about weed does something negative to your body, would you stop smoking?
I think I will find ways to, probably slow down.
But you wouldn't stop.
Not like tomorrow. No.
I'm just saying, like, you
no,
find
because
out
there's a lot of shit that we eat every day that's gonna kill us. Like at this point, I'm gonna say, like, when it comes to fast food, when it comes to even the things that we buy in grocery stores, like there's always gonna be something that may have an effect to us that may kill us. Now, what I would also do to even make this better with me is that I would just grow my own shit. Because if that's the case, it's a plant.
I feel like I always got to go to the extreme with you.
Okay.
You find out that all types of marijuana, once you, like, if you continue to smoke it or you smoke it, just stay with me in the scenario. Just in the scenario.
Okay.
it's gonna kill you.
Wow.
Like straight up dead.
Wow.
You still gonna smoke it?
No.
Okay. So y'all heard that? We got a straight answer out of her. So only reason why I asked that question because you said there's still people in your life that you haven't cut off yet, but you know that they're not good for you. So is it just hasn't gotten to a point where you feel like it's like detrimental to you?
No, I think sometimes it's gotten to that point. I think that's just a.
Because I'm just trying to figure.
And I know I have an answer for you. I'm just
Okay.
really trying to put it into words. So I apologize for cutting you off because it's really like opening this part of me. Is that like I've gotten to a point where I've cut a lot of people off in my life, good, bad, and indifferent, just because of the stages that I have been going through. And so there are certain people that I've had either certain experiences with that are highlighted, whether it's 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or 3 years ago, or yesterday, that I kind of hold on to. And sometimes those are just moments that it has happened, you're grateful for it, you should move forward, and I still hold on to those because I also understand that there were moments where I was greater than the moments that I may have shown to others too. And I don't want people to immediately write me off. However, I'm starting to realize that there's some energy that's becoming more draining to me, my character, and my spirit, that I now need to realize that even though I may think that this person could be better one day, might even switch their whole energy where they're no longer draining, I need to start creating boundaries. I need to be able to think about, like, if every time I'm around you, I end up feeling some type of way, or I don't feel like this is a safe space, that it might just be shared with other people, or that you low-key don't really fuck with me like that, but try to root with me in front of my face, but talk shit about me behind my back. I need to start getting to a point where it's just like, no, thank you. Which is so weird because usually I'm easy to cut some people off, but there are some people that are embedded in me. But it's all about coding. You just gotta take it out.
Cool.
I'm working on that.
Move forward.
Yeah. So the next thing is romantically.
No.
So, no, that's it. Period. So
Yeah.
walk me through.
I'm
hungry.
Usually, yeah. Once if I have a logical enough reason of why I shouldn't be in this relationship, I'm going. I try not to make that decision based on feeling.
Okay, so when it comes to relationships, you are trying to be more logical than you are based off your feelings.
Yes, because I feel like.
So how does a relationship really work for you? Because if you are basing it always on logic, my thing is, then how do you know when something?
Can I rephrase?
Okay.
It's not basing it on logic, but I feel like once logic outweighs my emotions, I'm not supposed to be there.
I respect the answer because then that makes more sense to me. Because I'm just like, logically, I feel like there's a lot of people that don't make sense. But when you think about how they make you feel, how you make them feel, how you guys inspire, it becomes a whole different tier of that. Because logically, you're like, this is 1 + 1 does not equal 2 here.
Absolutely. And love is illogical. So
yes, absolutely. So that's why I'm just like, how do you genuinely know that you feel
I don't base my relationships on logic. No.
Okay. But you also understood that if even how you feel and the logic behind how you feel outweighs that, I can see how your response is only to work into that. I've had both. I've had both where
you stayed in a relationship.
I stayed in a relationship. Yes. I stayed in a relationship because, like, I really genuinely thought I was gonna marry this person, and like we've gone through like so much. But for me, it was just like I feel like I was trying too hard, but then I wasn't trying at all. Which I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but it was just like I knew that I was trying to make my relationship work, but there would be times where I would just get home and I just would sit in my car for like an hour because I just didn't want to go home to him. I didn't want to be there. Like but then obviously, like, when I got there, like, we would be in this space, but just the idea of me wanting to work later or just sit in my car just because I didn't want to immediately get home, made me feel some type of way because one, my home was my safe space. That's the place where I need to wind down, be great, and knowing that there was somebody that was supposed to be with me and support me wasn't making me feel that way and made me not want to be there. Sometimes I would even like just want to stay at my parents' house because I was just like, I don't want to be here. And that was weird to me. When you paying rent somewhere else and you don't want to stay there, it doesn't really, I don't think the numbers make sense at that point. But then there were moments where I've also seen that I can't force a circle into a square. I've realized that we have exhausted any possibility of this ever being a thing, going to be a thing here, now, in the future, and we just need to let go. And what I've done is, for the most part, let go and remind myself that it's over at any time that I may have to have that opportunity to remind myself and that individual. But I'm still blocking people. I'm just trying to do it less. Yes. And that's just where I'm at with that. Like, romantically, I have been in a situation where I stayed. And yes.
In the situation where you stayed, how did you finally leave?
No, he left me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's when I realized, like, you shouldn't stay where you know that you want to leave, because at that moment where you decided that now you want to stay, that person has now made the decision to leave you. Now, does that happen all the time? No. But that it happens because they've already felt the same way that you've been feeling, but they've also been trying to figure that out. But if you stay in a situation that you know that you should have left already, just know that it's inevitable. Either you're going to eventually leave or that person's going to leave you. But again, that's not all the stories, but that's how I've seen it played out. So you shouldn't stay somewhere where you don't feel wanted, desired, or fulfilled. Like, it kind of becomes, it hinders your growth in itself, because now you're just trying to do it for somebody else that don't want to do it for you.
Big facts.
What about you? Oh, you just said.
Yeah, no. I told you.
Okay. And what about family dynamics?
So, same thing. I'm dipping. I don't. But this is what I was telling you, like, when we started the topic, is because of how I grew up. Like, especially with my mom, it was like you yearn for that relationship and you want that relationship to the point where it's not where it's supposed to be. And you got two choices. You could continue to get hurt, or you could start controlling the relationship the way you want it to.
Yeah.
So I learned at a very early age that I can control relationships that I have and have them work for the way that I want them to work. So even with family, it's like, we family, but I don't gotta fuck with you.
I respect that. Yes and no for me, because I'm not a person that really talks to people all the time, especially my family. Like, sometimes there's some parts of my family who I talk to and I'm cool with. You'll know that, like, I've traveled with my cousins. Like, I got my cousin Kat, TJ. Like, there's cousins that I know that I have chilled with, but like in the majority, because my family's huge, I'm not really that close to everybody. However, I grew up in a dynamic that family was life. And although, like, as I get older, I realize, like, that's not the case. I've allowed myself to be around people and continue to be around people that I don't feel like that I needed to be around. Whether it was the history that we had with each other or just the way that they are when they're around me, I feel like in the culture that I grew up in, like, you were kind of forced in being uncomfortable just because, and I didn't think that was fair. I think that if you didn't feel okay, you should be able to remove yourself. You don't have to leave, but you should be able to remove yourself. And in my culture, that wasn't the case. You had to endure it, and because of that, I feel like there are some times where I sit here and I just, I take it, knowing that I can give you the wrath, but I won't. And sometimes that's a detriment to me, because now I've allowed somebody to put all that negative energy in me, and I'm holding it, and I might give it to somebody that's not even deserving of it. And then there's some family members where I'm okay with never talking to again, and it doesn't faze me. But I still believe, like, just like romantic relationship or even platonic relationships, I still believe that there are people that I've surrounded myself around that I truly believe that if I probably wasn't in Jersey, I probably wouldn't associate myself with, and probably wouldn't talk to at all. But again, it's all about, for me, I need to just start being aware of creating more boundaries for me and the people that I surround myself around.
Yeah.
So, and it was crazy because I was just this mysterious person. Then I like was an open book, and now I'm just like, I don't want it. I'm gonna close my book now. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Okay, that's my topic.
Cool.
All right, you want to jump into yours?
Diving. Sure.
Okay,
Sure. My topic is just about thoughts. Like, do you think that we have original thoughts? So that sounds very broad. So let me tell you where it came from, right? So we are, think about everything that surrounds us. We got social media, we got television, we got radio, you got magazines, you got books, you got so much media that you could consume anything, even people who aren't on social media. You got family, right? You got so many things that you surround yourself with daily, to the point where I think people influence. Of course, there's like people. Of course, there's influences, like things influence your thoughts or whatever. But think about like when you think about people who figured out the solar system, or philosophers and how they had original thoughts. Do you think in 2023 that people still have original thoughts, or just now that all of our thoughts are influenced by something, or they come from somewhere else? You better not say no goddamn yes or no.
Why not, Greg?
Cause give me the yes or no answer.
I think it's generational based.
Okay.
Because I feel like there are certain generations that did not have all these tools to manipulate their ideas. However, there's still there's certain things. I feel like society in its whole has this consensus about certain things that we believe just as a society is true. Whether it's subjective to each individual, for the most part, like we understand that usually men ask a woman to marry him. Like it's marry him. Like that's like the consensus in the society. However, I do believe that there is Generation X. I don't know what my generation is right now.
You're a millennial.
Okay, so the millennials. I feel like we've lived in an era where we didn't have the internet, where what our influences were. No, I feel like everyone has an influence. We at one point we didn't.
Yeah, well, it's true.
We did.
That's why we think we're the greatest generation.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you, is that it's not like it didn't happen, but we had it when we didn't happen. So we had to have. We are the era of why we have so many card games right now. We are the era of why there's so many just games in general. Ring Around the Rosie. Like we literally had to think of games to play with each other outside, because they were outside of like the natural like basketball or tag or things like that. We had to create these games in order to keep our minds going and being able to be entertained. And then the generation after that was automatically influenced by social media. But then when I say yes and no, is that everybody doesn't use social media the same, and some people don't use social media at all.
For sure. That's why I didn't leave it on social media.
Yes, and so, but then there are their family members. I was talking to one of my friends, and they were just saying how like they've, this is allegedly, these are the thoughts that they had, that a lot of people in the Indian culture are already told that black people are not it. You can date anybody else except a black person. And that makes me sad, because as generations grow, that's what they're teaching their children. Fortunately, we are now in a society where things are not predominantly a lot of races, because COVID happened. People are able to move around the world. There's a lot of people that have been in places that they've never been in. But you see that there are people still being influenced. Now, does it mean that all Indian people will not date or marry a black person? Not true. They will. It happens. But you understand that your family also can influence you. So outside of the social media era, there are people that have built in some type of racism that they didn't even know that they have, but because of where they grew up around. Does that not mean that they, just because they grew up that way doesn't mean they can't have original thought? Absolutely not. I believe that there are people that grow up in a very restricted household, but still be able to have independent thoughts.
Okay, so stay there for a minute, because I think you don't think people have original thoughts. I think you think all thoughts are influenced.
No.
They have to be.
No, I think that that's why I said yes and no, Greg.
I don't think there's a yes to this.
Because even, I want to use me as an example. I have proactively not used social media up until the point where this podcast has become a prominent thing in my life. Outside of that, I didn't think that social media influenced me at all because I didn't know what was going on.
Take it off of social media.
And so then even after that, I think
you don't think other things influence you.
I'm gonna give you more examples. I even think that I'm the black sheep in my family, so I don't think that I think the way that they do. I think that I understand the culture that I'm in, but because I've always tried to distance myself from them, does not mean that I'm always reciprocating to what their wants and needs are. So it's like I believe that I have original thought. I don't think that everything around me influences me, and I choose that because I think that as you continue to introve yourself into the people, it's like you're making social media, your family, or any other thing influence you, define who you are, and that's not me.
That's not what I'm getting at all.
Okay, all right.
I'm saying every thought that we have has been influenced by something, right? So think about you consider yourself the black sheep of your family. No, I don't want to touch that. You think
thank you, guys.
You don't go on social media, right? You don't use because you don't want social media to influence you. Right?
No, that's how I felt before, but I understand that I have to use it. But
whatever, right? Why don't you use social media? Why didn't you use social media? Is that an original Gigi thought, or is it because you've seen how it has influenced other people?
No, because I wouldn't know because I don't use it.
You're missing me.
Okay.
You've seen how social media has impacted other people.
No, I've seen how it could have impacted me. That's why I made that's why I didn't go into
okay, so if you saw how do you know how it could have impacted you?
Because I used social media and then I stopped. I don't understand. Like, I was in the era of MySpace, Facebook. I just stopped there. I didn't see anything after that. But that was because I happened to be in a relationship and I saw how people could easily affect the relationship that I was in because of how open I was with providing that to the masses or whoever was following me or him at that time. And so I decided to...
So you just came to that...
Yes, because of my experience. Experience.
But your experience,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And you're going to sit here and tell me that, like, you didn't come to that conclusion based on thinking about how it could have possibly or how it has affected somebody else.
No, I didn't care about nobody else. It was really about me.
Because I understand that it was about you.
But when I made that decision, it was because of how it was affecting my relationship. That's when I decided to remove myself off Facebook. And I was like, I'm not doing social media. It had nothing to do. He stayed on social media. I decided to remove myself. I didn't think about what it was affecting anybody else. I wasn't worrying about nobody. I wasn't looking for nobody in that relationship. So that wasn't for me. The reason why I made the decision was because of the experience that happened to me, not because it happened to anybody else.
I understand.
Okay.
I don't know how else to explain.
I understand what you're saying. It's just I didn't base my decision off of somebody else.
I don't think you did. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Okay.
Bottom line is, I think every thought, like every even regular conversation, we have formed a thought, or we formed our thoughts based on something that we've heard, that we've seen, that we have, that we've just digested, like whether directly or indirectly. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm not saying that like people are like mindless zombies. It's just that's just the climate of which we are in. So
you don't believe like you when it comes to like logos or things like that, you don't think those are original thoughts?
No, because and I'm a designer. When I create a logo, it's you think about a number of things. One, how is it gonna look to the one? How it's gonna look to the masses? How it's gonna fit in with the with whatever you're trying to do. So if I'm creating a logo for a chair company, I'm going to look at other chair companies and make sure that when people see this logo, it's either one going to stand out or it's going to fit in with the rest of the chair companies.
Okay, and I guess I get what you're saying, but as a designer, you are the visual. So I explain to you what I want, and you create it.
Yes.
You don't think that's an original thought?
See, I get what you're saying. No, I'm still the creator. Yes, I am definitely the creator.
Okay.
But the thought from how I'm going to start creating this thing is definitely going to be influenced by things around me.
Greg, I don't think we're just gonna agree to disagree. Maybe I can get where you're coming from, but I just feel that there are still people that have original thought, and I think that's why we have so many different things available to us till this day. Like when it comes to games, like I try to explain to you, like we have games that we didn't think that we would have had 10 years ago.
Of course not.
That's an original thought.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because the game is based on something. Excuse me. Even Worlds of Warcraft, right? You, that game is. Why was that game created? It was created so people can have. It's fantasy. It's a fantasy outlet, right?
Okay.
Where did that thought come? Where did that thought come from? Because you're not accepted in the real world.
Okay, so I see where you're just saying that like life influences you, so you won't have original thought because you life.
Yeah, that's why. I
think that's not fair because I think that everybody's life experiences is different. The same way I lived is not the same way that you lived.
That's
so
totally
our perspectives
fair.
may always be different.
Absolutely.
Because we've had different life experiences. So my thoughts and your thoughts, although maybe because of our experiences, which I think that's what you're saying, your experiences influence you, so that doesn't make it original.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I was talking about like the Sir Isaac Newtons and
that's what I'm saying.
the
Like,
philosophers.
so you don't think that life influenced them?
Probably no, absolutely.
So you're saying that, but you reference them. But if you're believing in the thoughts that you're saying, then history, Jesus doesn't have an original. No one has an original thought.
So wait, let me give you my answer. I never give you my answer.
Okay.
Because I do think there is original thought.
Oh, get out of my face.
But really, for me, it's only in music. Like, that's the only place I could honestly see, because there's so many sounds that has yet to be created.
You don't think that they're influenced by something?
No.
Wow.
I don't.
I think so. I think that if you are looking for a sound, you have to be looking for it to find it, even if you don't hear it immediately.
Yeah, I hear what
if
you're
you're
saying.
looking for a new sound, you're not. If you are playing the same keys, you're not looking for another key. Where are you finding your new sound? Unless you by mistake.
So that's one. That's like when you talk about melodics and melody, for sure. I'm talking about just like sound. Like there's so many sounds that we just never heard of, and I think you could take like the most randomest sounds, you could put them into a pattern, you got a song.
And that's not then you don't think that was influenced by anything?
No, I don't see it. I don't see how. Unless it was influenced by somebody. Oh no, yeah, you're right. There you go.
And I'm only saying that because of based off what your first statement is.
No, you're right.
That means that there's no what you're saying is there's no original thought because everybody's influenced by something.
Yes.
So their thought is always biased or something like that because of their experience.
No, I wouldn't say. That's why I said either indirectly. Like you could be influenced indirectly. So I think in order to be biased, you have to be like. I think it has to be a direct.
So how do you think businesses get created?
They think of an idea based on their experiences.
Or something that someone hasn't thought about, and that's why they are so Post-its, erasers, pencils. Like there's certain things that people they were using ink before, Greg.
They were using what?
Ink.
What was that?
Fuck you, bro. I'm over it. I'm done. I don't have. It's so crazy because I feel like that's something that you would say to me, and I'm over it now. I think people have original thoughts. I have original thoughts. If people didn't have original thoughts, then why are people tuning into us?
Because we sound good.
Wow. Okay. So, with that being said, Greg, is there anything else you have to say about that?
No.
You can. You have the
I
floor.
really don't. I just don't think.
You did think, and then you realized that you didn't think. You said no, then you said music, then you said, oh.
Yeah, because you changed my mind about that.
I didn't change your mind. I was just telling you what you said.
But you did.
Okay.
I just think that,
how do people like Beethoven that didn't have the music of his time create the music of his time?
I don't know. I was
original thought.
Right? I was just saying in 2023. I think in 2023,
all right, but,
we don't have original thoughts.
Okay, I think that there are still some individuals that have original thoughts.
Okay.
But I understand the masses, and because of social media being so relevant, and the idea of, like I was explaining to you about the
I don't think it's social media. I just think it's just media in general.
Well, I also think it's family. I also think it's outside influences. I think it's what you surround yourself around. I think there's a lot of other things that playing into it as well.
I think a lot of those things form our thoughts.
I think that it could help, and sometimes when you are surrounding yourself around it, you can also realize that it's not okay. So there's some people that are surrounding themselves around the bullshit, smell the shit, and say, I don't want to smell like shit no more, Greg.
And because they smelled all the shit, and they made a choice to not smell the shit anymore.
Yes, and some people...
So that's the influence. The influence that they smell the shit.
No. What I'm trying to tell you is that what the people that are influenced and speak on those influences that affect them properly are the people that smell the shit, and they're so used to smelling the shit that they don't smell shit no more.
That confused me.
You ever been around somebody that smells all the time, and in fact you're like, how you don't know you don't smell is because they've smelled so long that they've understood that this is how they smell, so it doesn't affect them anymore. But being around other people, it still affects other people because it's a foul odor.
Okay.
So what don't you get?
I don't understand. How is that relevant to? I don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm so confused. I'm like lost.
What? I don't get what you don't get.
You saying, okay, someone who stink, but they've always stunk.
My thing is to agree to what you're saying. I don't agree with. If I'm in shit and I think that the shit smells and I don't no longer want to smell like shit, I now have an independent thought from the shit that I've been surrounding. But the non-independent thought is the idea that I smell the shit. I'm so used to smelling the shit that I am okay with being in the shit that I no longer smell shit, even though I've been in it. And that's how my response works. I'm going to use you as an example.
I get it.
You could have been a product of your environment, Greg, and just kind of just fell off the rails.
For sure.
But you allowed yourself to, one, utilize the opportunities that you've had and excel yourself. So you could have stayed in the shit and smelled like shit and act like it wasn't shit.
So you don't think that my environment influenced my decision to not smell like shit?
It could have went either way, Greg.
It doesn't matter which way it went.
But that's what I'm trying to say is that you could have your consensus around the individuals that could have been around you. This is alleged. I'm giving you an example. Mm-hmm. Could have made the opposite decision from you. So you could have been the 1 out of the 7.
Okay.
That is a complete opposite of what the influence is because the idea is that you would have okay.
The influence is still the same. It's just I decided which way to go with the influence.
Okay. So that's not an independent thought?
It's not because it's still dependent based on the surrounding area.
Okay.
How we see that differently?
Because if you would be exactly what they've expected you to be, you wouldn't be who you are. And so in order for you to go against the wave, you had to think differently.
I think I understand the disconnect.
Okay.
The disconnect is that you're saying, because what you're saying isn't wrong. What I'm getting at is that
influence is influence, and whatever it is that it's not an original thought, and I think that's an original thought. I think so.
Cool.
Okay. Well.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. If you are still here with us, we end every episode or every conversation with a part of the show called New Dialogue. New Dialogue is where we just talk about something that we found interesting this week, whether it's words of affirmation, a show, a song, have many conversations about it. What did it do?
Oh, you want me to go?
Sure.
I'm sorry, I gotta pull it up because it's like
Pull it up,
the
then.
show that my hairstylist, she put me on when we was getting my hair done, and I really liked it, and I was actually pretty surprised that I haven't watched it yet, because I feel like it's something that was probably in true crime as well, but it is called Mayor of Kingstown. Have you ever heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
It is a good show. It is really, really good. It really, and the idea that this town is this storyline, I'm guessing that it's more fictional, but this is actually a true area, and the story is based off a true story, and that this is a place that has 20,000 people, and half of them are inmates. Like, it's an area filled with just prisons, and then there's people that just live there, which in my mind, I don't know why I want to live in a place that's predominantly prisons, because everybody you probably meet or anybody that you probably know somebody that's in prison, and you probably got a whole bloodline. I mean, there's nothing wrong with people that have gone to prison. Yeah, I mean, unless you kill somebody. I mean, I guess that's a subjective thing. Depends on why I killed them. But touching little kids, I don't like that. But anyways, neither here or there. But it is a dynamic between the local police department, gangs, as well as the people in prisons, as well as the COs. Like, this is like a whole conglomerate. If they had a RICO, this is the best storyline that you could think of. Like, it touches a lot of different aspects. Even the community even gets involved into it. I want to tell y'all more, but I don't want to spoil it because I really want to get into it. There's 2 seasons, but I think you should try it if you're into that storyline in itself, because I enjoyed it. I enjoy it. You know who plays in it? He was in Marvel, and he had the bow and arrow.
Oh, Jeremy Renner?
Yes. What was he called?
Hawkeye.
I was like, Eagle something. Hawkeye. Yes, he's in it. And I think so far it has got my attention. Don't spoil it because I'm still fairly new in it, but it also crossed my mind. Also, my birthday is coming, and it's on Thursday, November 2nd, if you guys are worried about it and want to know. And if y'all want to cash at me, you think I could tell them, Greg? Gigi, that's G-I, the number 7, and an S. Do it. And if y'all want to, that's okay too, but I'm just giving you an opportunity to love on me like I want to love on y'all. And I think that's it. Oh, I've also been reading a book, Truly Madly Guilty. It's a book by Lorraine Moriarty, who did like Big Little Lies that you'll see like it's an HBO show, but it's also a book. And the book is all right. I've been listening to it during my rides to work, and she's an author that always has like a lot of characters, but really great storylines. And I think the book is cool. That's not one of my favorites, but still something that I'm gonna finish. And that's all I got. What about you, Greg?
New dialogue. Whew. My new dialogue is keep pushing. Keep pushing. There's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit. Yeah, there's always going to be shit. Just keep pushing.
Yeah, and if you smell it, just use a wipe or something. It'll probably help you. Take a shower.
It might help.
Yeah. Or just remove yourself from the shit. It'll probably help you.
Yo, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with removing yourself from situations, and there's nothing wrong with telling people about themselves.
And it's okay that you can remove yourself from things that no longer serves you. It might sound selfish at a moment, but you also understand that it's not just a you thing. It's about you and your spirit and your whole journey. Like, some people are here for a reason, a season, and a lifetime, and sometimes you be holding on to people that should have been let go a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm learning that.
Oh, learn how to use your focus on your iPhones if you have iPhones. You could customize that shit.
Yes, you can.
That shit's amazing.
It is amazing, but it be sometimes people get through, and I need to start figuring.
Nah,
like that.
I've been experimenting, trying to figure this shit out.
Oh no, it locks in, like, for sure. Especially if you put if you take off the allowed after 2 times, like it changes the whole game. Like people are sad about life, but I don't care because sometimes you just need a moment and not to look at your phone because once it goes, you want to go look at it and it kind of deters you from whatever you need to do. Do that. It's always okay to see a missed call or a text message that you didn't need to see at the moment. 5 hours later is okay for some people.
Tomorrow.
Not for me.
It is for me.
Anything else, Greg?
No, I'm good.
Awesome. With that being said, thank you so much for making it this far with us in this episode. I've had a great time. Greg's had a great time. We've made it this.
Speak for me.
You didn't have a great time?
It was cool.
With that being said, Greg, you want to let them know how they can find you and how they can find us?
I'm really scared to share my social media based on my experience in Nigeria.
Why?
Because I got people following me that I don't want people to follow me.
Why'd you give them your social media?
I didn't.
Who gave it to them?
Somebody on the trip.
Oh, but your name is your brand, Greg. You didn't think about that?
I did. Yo, what's up with you not being on my side?
No, I'm with you. I just
No,
think
you're
that,
not. No, you're not. You just contradict. You just definitely condescended me.
I didn't. I repeated the words that you say. Your name is your brand. You don't think this
You used it. You weaponized it.
Wow, Greg. So what do you want to do about it?
I don't know. But nah, y'all can follow me on X and Instagram at Greg Nelson 26. Because my name is my brand. And follow the pod on X and Instagram and TikTok and on YouTube at JustAConvo_pod, or search the full name Just a Conversation with Greg and Gigi. Listen to us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, Acast. It'll be on some other places eventually.
Yay, I like that. And friends, family first, last time. Just don't know don't know why you want to listen to us, people. You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at GCarly7, and that's GQARLY and the number 7. If you forgot today, if someone didn't tell you today, if you didn't nut today, if you've been waiting to nut today, if you're the person that wanted you to nut on them, you don't want them today, Greg and I want you to go be great. Gigi.